Welcome to Creepin' It Real. I am Judah. Let's talk about the 1989 horror film known as Witchery. This movie is by no means good. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10 right here at the beginning. But it did star the Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff was extremely popular at this time because of Knight Rider. And I'm not going to lie, as a kid, Knight Rider was in fact the shit. I loved that show. Kit, oh my gosh, I wish I could have been that car. He was so cool, but this is not something I'm going to tell you must watch. It was pretty bad. And in fact, it had a child actor, and yes, they're kids. You got to give them some mercy, but this kid actor was so bad. It literally felt like somebody was shouting to him his lines, and then he would repeat them one word at a time. Sometimes that is what you've got to deal with. Anyway, let's check out this trailer. You can get it on Blu-ray. Oh, I didn't know there was a subtitle. Evil Encounters.
My dad wants to buy this island right there.
This little girl. First of all, I don't even know. She appears, this little boy walks up. She's like, hey, my name's who knows and who cares? What's your name? And he's all like, I am Tommy. My dad wants to buy that island there. And she's like, no, you don't want to go there. That place is haunted. And Tommy's all like, I am child. I say words. Anyway, then she wheels away because she's in a wheelchair. And you kind of think, well, she's going to be important later on in the movie. That's how things generally go. You don't introduce characters that have nothing to do with the movie. They have to move the movie forward somehow. But at the same time, you could say, well, she was just there to inform the audience that the locals there believe that this island with a hotel on it is, in fact, haunted. End of story. We don't need her anymore in the movie. Okay, potentially. But I myself was thinking that she would probably show up later on simply because she had a name. She engaged with Tommy. So I thought there's going to be more to this. She does not appear, now, spoilers, by the way, she does not appear until much later in the movie where these people are trapped on the island. Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. Let's get through this trailer, and then I'll come back to this, hopefully, if I remember.
You shouldn't go here. That's a bad place. My mommy told me a witch lives there.
This is the opening sequence to the movie. This pregnant woman is being chased by a mob of 4 guys with pitchforks. They look like they came from a Renaissance fair, the way that they're dressed and the tools that they have. And yet she's running into this hotel that was clearly built, in our time period. So it didn't make much sense. Also, what is very funny is this nightgown that she's wearing is somewhat see-through. And the best part about this is you can clearly see that she has a white pillow strapped on her stomach to create the appearance of being pregnant. It makes me laugh so much that nobody at any time said, maybe we should put a slip on this woman so you can't tell that we have a pillow wrapped around her stomach. No one. They were just like, yeah, nobody's going to see that. No one at all. Let's just let it ride. the Hoff.
There are 3 doors to the dark side. Linda for the lust, and Rose for greed. And Aya of the persecuted witch.
I have no idea what the point of this movie was. I'm not going to lie. I walked away being like, yeah, I just watched a movie. Stuff happened. There was somewhat of a story of there's this David Hasselhoff is a photographer. His fiance is trying to write a story about the this hotel and everything that the folks around there think about it. With the witch and all that kind of stuff, she wants to write a book or an article all around the legend of this place. And it's important to the story to understand that she's a virgin. And Hasselhoff is constantly trying to get her to have sex with him in this movie, like every opportunity. And she's like, no. And he's like, we really need to talk about this. It's not right for a woman your age to be a virgin. You know how weird that is? Anyway, he doesn't care. He just wants to get his pickle wet. And there's a very, in my opinion, an extremely disturbing rape scene that occurs with this woman who's a virgin because it has to do with this evil ritual. She is raped by a demon. It is very disturbing. I couldn't even watch it. Some of you would watch it and be like, "Oh, you're such a prude." No, there's nothing fantastic. There's nothing good about finding entertainment from somebody being raped. That's just ugh. Anyway, so things happen in this movie, but why? I don't know what the motivation of this witch is. I have no idea what she's trying to accomplish. All I know is there's a ritual, and apparently this group of people who find themselves at this hotel all meet the requirements for this ritual. Some could say that the witch throughout the movie did have a hand in leading them all here to this place, and I could give you that, because she does interact in a way with each group, not with each individual, but with the group, somehow bringing them together. But why? I don't know. I have no idea what she was trying to achieve, and it's very frustrating. I thought that maybe today, when I did the review, when I did my research, that there might be some kind of clarification as I'm reading through Wikipedia, going through IMDb, that there might be something that clarifies what it was she was trying to achieve. Now, those of you who watch this and potentially love this movie, and you understood what the witch's motivation was, I beg you to leave me a comment and clear this up for me. It's a simple request. Help me out here. Let me know what the witch was actually trying to achieve. I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, stuff happens. Let's get back to this trailer.
Add James King, and the one element that unites the rest. The loss of purity. Yours, Leslie.
Yeah, this is that scene. This is that's a demon that's about to go rap the vagina. It's gross. My gosh, could they show the whole thing? Fantastic. I'm glad you all get to experience this. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to blur that out. I guess this woman that they just show her right there, I guess she was married to Hasselhoff at one time. Yeah. Okay. So that scene with the lips, the effects were not bad, but what annoyed me was when they were sewing, they kept going through the same hole, and it was so drawn out. It eventually shows you with her whole mouth sewn shut, but this super long drawn out scene of her getting her lips shut, you never actually see them succeed in sewing her mouth. It's always the same place, them looping through it. I'm like, 3 minutes of you guys looping through the same hole in her mouth. Can't you like move on? Why do we keep seeing the same thing over and over again? It annoyed me. It just annoyed me. I'm pausing simply because I feel the need to. I have nothing to say about this movie, honestly. There's another thing that didn't really go anywhere. The guy who's bleeding out right now, they showed that he's kind of a perv. They show him checking out women throughout the movie, but that never goes anywhere. They could have easily used him for this portion of the ritual that was about lust, but instead they used this blonde chick as an nymphomaniac. So it was kind of confusing to me, like this is a portion or a attribute of this man that really did not move the story along at all. I don't know. That bird was the best part about this movie. That dead bird and the hotel there in the background. Let me finish my thought on the little girl. This whole movie is about this woman writing a story about the legend of this hotel, her boyfriend or her fiance, who's a photographer. We have this group of people who are thinking about purchasing this abandoned hotel. They come, they all get trapped in this hotel, and this witch picks them off one by one. There's a surprise ending, which is not really a big surprise. But this little girl tells, Tommy, who is the best actor in the world, you don't want to go there because my mommy says a witch lives there. Anyway, they still go. Later on, they are trapped because the tide goes out. The boat has left them. They can't get back. They're trapped. They get a flare. They fire it. This little girl sees the flare. She goes and she says, hey, Dad, there's somebody on the island. I saw him shoot a flare. And he's all like, oh, that's baloney. It's because of them movies that you watch. You should be in bed. Leave me alone as I smoke, you stupid little girl. So then she wheels away, and she knows what she saw. She saw a flare, and she's not going to let this go. So then she calls the police to let them know that she saw a flare on the island. So she gets on the phone. She calls. We cut to the police station with the phone ringing. And ringing and ringing, and nobody's there. She finally hangs up because nobody answers, but as she hangs up, finally the sheriff comes in opens up the door, turns on light, hangs his hat on the wall. He doesn't get the call. That's it. Why? What was the point of that? It went nowhere. She shows up at the beginning, gives some context for us to know that this island is supposedly haunted. Later on, she sees a flare. Her dad basically belittles her, tells her to leave him alone so he can smoke. She tries to call the cops. She doesn't make any connection. The end. It didn't move the story forward at all. I mean, somebody would be like, well, they needed to tie up the loose end of they shot a flare. They're trying to make it intelligent. They're trying to get off the island. They have a flare. Wouldn't you shoot it? Okay, now how do we handle it? Does somebody see it? Somebody has to see it. Okay, the only person who sees it is a little girl. She sees it. She tries to do something, but nobody answers the phone. The end. So we at least tied up that plot hole, I guess. But it was weird. Why? It just didn't go anywhere. That's the only reason she was there, but it didn't move the story on. 3 out of 10. David Hasselhoff gave this 1 point bump simply because I appreciated him in Knight Rider. He didn't do much for this movie, but it was nice to actually see him. It's been a while. So, and it seems like he's, in a way, I think the last movie I actually saw him in was maybe the SpongeBob movie. When, Patrick and SpongeBob rode him. It was kind of humorous. I can appreciate him being okay with the kind of joke that he has become. And him embracing that kind of helps. You know what I'm saying? So good on David for being able to laugh at himself. But the guy has had a good career. Most people know him. If I saw him on the street, I would be glad to walk up to him and be like, bro, I enjoyed your Knight Rider show. That was a blast for me as a kid. Thank you so much. Okay, let's take a look at IMDb. Right now, IMDb, this has 61 reviews, and it rests at a 4.3 out of 10. So the average viewer is not far from where I land. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 10 out of 10s. Here it says by Dragon Girl 1976. So I'm assuming that Dragon Girl is probably 49 at this point. She reviewed this back in February 15th, 2005. I loved it. I like seeing Linda Blair playing an actual horror movie again. I had been disappointed with her in most everything since Exorcist movie, which I loved. What was up with all of those nasty B movies she did? Dragon Girl, 1976. There's nothing wrong with B movies. My channel is built on B movies. So just lay off. Okay? David Hasselhoff, on the other hand, all I could do is laugh. He's not cut out to be a horror movie actor. David needs to stick to Knight Rider or Baywatch. For the kind of movie this is, he did a fine job. He did a 3 out of 10 job for a 3 out of 10 movie. All around, this is an awesome movie, even for the 80s. What's that supposed to mean? This was an awesome film. It has horror, action, and drama. It is a suspenseful, and I love the way Linda Blair turned out. Dragon Girl 1976 thinks that this is a fabulous movie, even though David Hasselhoff disappointed her slightly. But for me, he gave it a bump. It took it from a 2 to a 3. So there you have it. Make your own choice. Should you watch Witchery? I don't know. You can go with me, or you can go with what Dragon Girl 1976 says. But I still was entertained for what it was. I will not watch it again. I can't recommend it to anybody because the things that made it bad were not so bad that I was dying of laughing and I didn't feel like I needed to tell people you need to watch this. It just was bad. It was just a bad horror movie. I would pass if I were you. But if I was me, I would definitely take a little bit of time and check it out. That's it. That's all I've got for this movie. If you've seen it, if you love it or you hate it, I want to hear your thoughts because I love interacting with you. Please leave your comments below. Thanks for your time. I'm Judah. This was Creepin' It Real. We are watching Witchery. We're watching Witchery from 1989. I'll see you next time.